they realize one thing, that gay people don't raise voice against injustice. रोएंगे 2 दिन चुप बैठेंगे and they will stop.
Yeah.
This is the pattern, unfortunately. Again, we can talk about the lack of laws and social support and everything, but let's be practical. We have to have how many gay people want to have friends in the community?
Yeah.
They just hook up and they just block each other.
Correct.
And they go. It's important to have a support system and a
Absolutely.
good friend circle so they can stand for you.
Right.
So this is the reason that community need to reform and decide that we need, कि पुलिस के पास जाने की हिम्मत नहीं है, ठीक है, but at least raise a voice against it, raise awareness against it.
Which you're doing.
Thank you, but unfortunately I am not enough for all these cases, because whenever I put one video, one expose, there are minimum 50 other in my DMs and I cannot handle. I'm just one-man army with the backup of my legal team, but they are the one who will guide me for legality. They are not going to raise the voice just the way I'm going to do social media.
Correct. Hello and welcome to the Queer Podcast Season 3. Now, it's so unfortunate that within all the progress that has happened within our rainbow community, there are also a lot of dangerous elements that have crept in thanks to our visibility. So one of the big issues facing us, particularly the gay men, is that of crimes that are being committed blatantly against us. And to shed light on this is a shining star who has evolved into quite the hero and a one-man vigilante. So a big round of applause, even though we can't hear you, for Nakshatra Bagwe.
Thank you so much.
Hi Nakshatra, thank you for taking time off from all your involvements, activities, everything to come to the Queer Podcast.
Thank you so much, and let me tell you, this is my very first podcast and I'm happy to be here.
So a big honor for us. I've been a fan of yours for a very long time, but we'll come to that. So to give you some history, I first met Nakshatra, I think 2012-2013 May, where he had a very powerful short film playing at the Kashish Film Festival, and I was hosting a panel. And he was one of the first people from our community, I think, who utilized minimal resources like his own cell phone to start making short films. And from then, which was a little over 10 years ago to today, it's amazing to see Nakshatra just grow and start having many different avatars and wearing many different hats. And what I find fabulous is that here's someone who's had very little resources in a way, no kind of family connections or support. So it's amazing what you do. I seriously stand in a lot of awe about you.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot.
Okay, just to give some horrifying statistics, recent statistics for our viewers. In Uttarakhand, 2 men posing as policemen would fix dates on dating apps. They were secretly recorded. Then, like you said, the second chap would enter in a police uniform, threaten, demand money. Eventually, when they were caught, they were in possession of a gun. They had bullets, they had police uniforms, and they had 5 cases, including murder charges on them. So it's serious shit. In January 2025 alone, according to a post that I saw, 5 arrests in Delhi, 5 arrests in Hyderabad, 2 in Pune, 3 in Ghaziabad. The Delhi victim particularly was a terrible story. He was beaten, he was stripped of all his clothes, he was kept naked ठंडी में दिल्ली की सर्दी में for 7 hours. He lost all his life savings. The police refused to file a complaint saying कि नहीं jurisdiction का कुछ मसला है. He went 4 times to the police station before an FIR was lodged. No medical exam was conducted despite obvious physical abuse. When they found the criminals, they had been arrested before but were out on bail. So it is that serious. So these are only the reported solved cases. So आप मेरे से ज़्यादा आपको पता है the amount of unreported, unsolved cases that must be existing, है ना?
True.
What is going on? Why have we become such an easy target for the for these criminals? And I understand that some of the responsibility has to be taken by the community.
Absolutely.
But आप मुझे ये बताइए.
You know, there is this very popular Hindi line कि आपने गिरबान में झाँक के देखिए. So community should own up some of the blame and a big chunk of the blame, because it's not victim shaming, because I am the one who has seen every story which reached out to me, and I see people are not comfortable going to police.
Yeah, obviously.
But then I feel the things that they are doing, जिस तरीके से वो फंस रहे problems में, when it comes to police, they're like, no, my family will get to know. But they don't think about all these consequences when they're trying those so-called adventurous, risky things.
Yeah.
So I always say this one thing, that people don't understand the brain is upar, not niche. And when they are horny and when they are sexually driven, they think brain is in the lower
No,
parts.
then the switch goes off ऊपर
Yes.
ना और फिर नीचे का ही switch on हो जाता है.
And you will see that there's a pattern, they will only target those who are very, very discreet.
Closeted kind of.
Closeted, and they will not target someone like you and me who are outspoken and who are not shy enough to, and out there who can fight for it.
Correct.
So,
But at the same time, we have to accept that it's not easy for everybody to be out.
of course it is not. So I say that when you know your situation, do not risk yourself with the experimental thing.
Correct. Keep it in your pants.
Absolutely. So that's one of the things. Again, one of my observation is this started after COVID. I mean, it was always there, but it to different level. Because COVID में a lot of people lost jobs, and jobs का पूरा
Money.
कमी
loss,
हो गया.
right.
So I think young people got into it. They realized one thing, that gay people don't raise voice against injustice. रोएंगे, 2 दिन चुप बैठेंगे, and they will stop.
Yeah.
This is the pattern, unfortunately. Again, we can talk about the lack of laws and social support and everything, but let's be practical. We have to have how many gay people want to have friends in the community?
Yeah.
They just hook up and they just block each other and they go. It's important to have a support system and a good friend circle so they can stand for you.
Right.
So this is the reason that community need to reform and decide that we need, कि पुलिस के पास जाने की हिम्मत नहीं है, ठीक है, but at least raise a voice against it, raise awareness against it.
Which you're doing.
Thank you, but unfortunately I am not enough for all those cases, because whenever I put one video, one expose, there are minimum 50 other in my DMs and I cannot handle. I'm just one-man army with the backup of my legal team, but they are the one who will guide me for legality. They were not going to raise the voice just the way I'm going to do social media.
Correct. Then also, like you said, when the victims do get the himmat to go to the police station, very often they're humiliated. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's reluctance to file complaints. So because of this behavior, the criminals get emboldened कि भाई पुलिस भी ज़्यादा कुछ करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, तो it's a free for all. Grindr, our beloved Grindr, takes zero responsibility and has shown no effort to introduce any guardrails to prevent such crimes, or even to make users aware about the potential risks of using the app to meet strangers.
Correct.
Right? Okay, there seem to be a lot of different types of scams that you talk about. So I know there used to be on Blue that used to get coins, so screen recording.
Screen recording, yes.
Then, of course, there is the most absurd rich foreigner scam.
I was about to talk, glad you mentioned it.
I don't understand how stupid people are. So basically, a rich, gorgeous foreigner like a doctor or somebody from America will message you. Within one conversation, hi, I love you happens.
I bought iPhone for you.
I bought iPhone for you, yeah. And the next thing you know, he's coming to India. Then again, he's at customs. He's stuck at customs with an expensive gift for you. He needs Indian money and you transfer it. आप ये शख्स से कभी मिले नहीं हो, आप इनको जानते नहीं हो, हाय हेलो डिक पिक के बाद आपने अपना मनी भी ट्रांसफर कर दिया. I mean, in some ways, it just shows how needy we are for love as a community.
Absolutely. And I made the same scam expose I've made in 2019 and then 22. And I can hear this case is still happening last week.
Yeah. It still goes on. I still get gorgeous foreigners, and the moment they're so gorgeous, and I'm like,
I don't get it. Maybe they scan my profile, but I never received any message. I wish I get.
No, please, they're horrible. Any other types? Of course, video calling.
Yeah.
And then they record you. They say, chalo, let's get a little frisky and naughty, and then they record that, right? Anything else?
A lot. I mean, this is not even my top 3, which we just mentioned. The top 3 is someone will invite you to outdoor space, because place is an issue for a lot of community members.
Absolutely.
And
on Grindr, if your ID says have place, it's
you're a premium member.
Yeah, premium member. Premium. Yeah.
So people generally prefer outdoor space for sexual contact, and once you go there, Suddenly 3-4 people will come. So it's a group crime that happened against you. And mind you, it happened in indoor spaces as well. So
Okay.
group crime is the first, I would say, most common template.
Organized.
Yes, very organized crime.
Ji.
After that, there is this massager scam that happens.
Everybody is a massager.
Everybody's massager, but some of the massager, I will not blame on the entire massager community, but a lot of them are scammers. So once you go to their home, once they come to your home, and whatever you discuss in the beginning, the deal that is done, but they'll start demanding more, and if you don't pay, they'll start screaming and shouting, and they'll start calling neighbors. So that's again a way of threatening, blackmailing
Right.
people.
So that's where what you said pehle ke, if you're out and you're whatever, they don't try it so much, but when you're discreet and you have fear that people will come to know, they
Yes.
capitalize on that fear.
Absolutely.
Right.
And one of the tip that I just want to say, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but it just popped up abhi dimag mein aaya ki never tell your weaknesses to the person you are meeting. Oh, I'm discreet, or I'm married, I have
किसी
personal
को
life.
बताना मत.
You just giving them, आप ये हथियार ले लो, हमारे खिलाफ use करो. That's the stupidest thing that you can do. Even you can be a most discreet person out there, but do not tell. Show them you're confident. Show them you're out. Show them that you're out about your sexuality,
Right.
and they will never mess with you.
Good plan. So what is your modus operandi when you go after the criminals? Okay, so recent case that I followed last week, shayad, 2 dickhead cousins from the north identified buying guitars and partying in clubs and everything after scamming. One of them has apologized and initiated refunding. From what I saw, you put up a recording.
Correct.
Did you involve the police in that?
Unfortunately, me as someone who's raising the voice, I cannot involve the police. The victim needs to reach out to police. That's the basic policy.
Right.
Because sometimes if we go out to police, so many times it happens, victim backs out. And then we are the one who fall flat on our faces because we
Correct.
wasted their time.
Right.
And our times, of course.
Right.
It is, so basically every case is different.
Huh.
I would say handling cases is more like doing politics. I think I can be a good politician now
Yeah, I'm
because
sure.
it's like shatranj ki chal. Every case is every template is similar, but again you need to see the psychology of the person who is doing it, psychology of victim as well, that how gutsy he can be. So my first phase is of course the research, what exactly happened, and the brief that I get from victim. The very first 2 lines only I'll get to know what a scam is. Itne scam handle karne ke baad, that's how it is.
Right.
Then the proof. Without proof we can't handle,
Huh.
because anyone can defame anyone these days.
Right. So proof meaning like screenshots of messages.
Yeah, the chats, audio recording, phone call, anything. Then the stalking part. So sometimes, most of the times, 99% I would say, the straight people who scam gay people.
Right.
So उनकी Instagram profile private होती है. So what I do is I send my Trojan horses. So I have 2 friends who are very hot girls. They put very provocative
Sexy,
pictures, and
yeah.
they are proud of that. So they are my Trojan horses. So they send friend requests to those scammers and start befriending with them.
Wow.
और उनसे 2 काम करवाता हूँ कि लेटेस्ट पिक्चर्स चाहिए मेरे को, और उनके फॉलोवर लिस्ट में जो उनके सिमिलर सरनेम के हैं रिलेटिव्स,
Right.
उनके आईडीज चाहिए मुझे. And then the scam begins.
Because those guys also have dicks and they think like us.
And a
also.
hot girl sending a message, I don't think any straight guy would deny
Resist.
that.
Huh. Yeah.
In the same time, sometimes when I know the scammer is gay, I approach them via my grinder, and I send them my hot pictures, and they don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Wow.
But sometimes I have to go as, someone who's going to get them.
The bait.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so then you managed to get access to that information.
Yes.
Right.
Indian society is such a messy one that relatives are either evils, most of the times they're evils. They do not see the happiness of family. And I use that. So I go to relatives, देखो ये लड़के ने क्या वीडियो में किया देखो. So they are the one who spread the information for me.
Right.
And once their name is shamed in the locality and the relatives, they have to back up because the parents पे pressure पड़ता है.
Correct.
Another approach that I use is I find the weakest link in the group. अगर group crime है तो
अच्छा.
the one who has done the minimum damage, one who he's not involved in very
Too much.
strong crime.
Huh.
I said तुझे निकाल दूंगा, but now you have to give me the information. And I've done it. So you have to use this politics. Every case is different.
Yeah.
And there are
So these are just some tips. I don't want to
reveal so much, yeah.
because then these scammers will also be like, "Chalo, ye episode suno aur pata
Yeah.
chalega Nakshatra ka." Okay, all right. It's amazing to see how many criminals you have brought to justice, and I don't know. Every time I see that, I also feel so happy because
Thank
revenge
you.
is very sweet, you know. Okay, in your experience, what are the impacts on queer individuals when this happens? Like obviously mental.
Yes. First call when the crime gets reported, I actually stopped having a phone call. First of all, the two reasons. I tell them that, I want everything as a proof, so please send a chat. A phone call cannot be as proof.
Correct.
But the actual reason is I cannot hear them cry. Because they cry a lot and the information is less and the tears they take over.
Emotion, yeah.
So we work with a legal team, we work with a mental support team, both the services that we give for free of cost.
Wow.
We do not do this for money, and so I put them in touch with the mental support group if they want it. Most of the time, if they have friends support system, they do not need it. So I ask them if they want it. Legal support we do give for free of cost. So I work with some 7 amazing female advocates, all females across the country, and even any wee hours of the day or night they will come and take my calls and guide me for the cases.
How fabulous. Your angels, your legal angels. How supportive have you found our police to be? I'm going to tell you a little story just from my experience. It happened to a very close friend of mine in the 90s. This person, no names, was working with a very big bank in Delhi and was a very senior person in the bank. Some public cruising, Kamala Nehru Park or whatever, they met some guy, they hooked up. And then this guy started blackmailing, threatening, bagara, in a like consistent kind of way. And I think my friend lost his nerve when this guy landed up at the bank. Somehow he managed to find out where my friend worked and he landed up at the bank, and my friend shat in his pants because he was a very senior official in the bank, right? And 90s bank culture, not really a queer friendly kind of culture. So he started extorting money from a friend of mine till finally I think my friend got fed up, felt very pathetic that the situation, with all his privilege, education, all that, he still was fierce giving money. So he went to the police, and surprisingly the police were actually really helpful. They asked him to lay a trap, they asked him to call this guy to a public area, and then they jhabkoed on him. So sometimes the cops can be very supportive, but what is your experience?
Unfortunately, I think I've seen it all. If there are 2 measurement tapes, 1 to 10 of good and bad, I've seen it all.
Right.
But you know what? I tell victim when I accompany them to police station, be prepared for insult. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
let's mistake में हमारी भी गलती है तो थोड़ा बहुत accept करके चलो कि थोड़ा कुछ सुनना है. At the end, we need is justice. So थोड़ा बहुत सहना पड़ेगा. So I
Right.
mentally prepare them.
Gandu case.
Like for example, no, thankfully these are the words not happening these
Thank
days.
God,
I'm
yeah.
sure it happened back then.
Piche, हाँ.
But I think there was one lady police official and she's like, लड़के भी दूसरे को मिलते हैं, क्या मजा आता है. And I just held the victim's hand, do not react.
Right.
Just and keep quiet.
Right.
But there are people who tell ये सब चीज़ें मत करो, ये गलत है, आपके फैमिली को पता चलेगा तो क्या होगा. There was never threatening or blackmail, but they wanted to do moral policing. But their job
Right.
was to do just policing and protecting the victim.
Correct.
But I have very positive experiences too, and I want to share because ऐसे experiences बाहर नहीं आते, and I want कि demotivation से ज़्यादा थोड़ा लोगों में positivity जाए कि ऐसे भी experiences हो रहे हैं.
जी.
I'll just quickly mention 2 cases. One is from Ballabgarh. Ballabgarh is a very large town near Faridabad, Haryana.
हाँ.
So यहाँ का case था last year का. This case was very scary because it was again a group crime done by 2 people. They were relatives again. So IMT करके एक area है, which is very industrial area, जहाँ पे total ground और bushes, like very empty. और किसके लिए मदद के लिए आवाज़ भी तो कोई नहीं आएगा. So he used to take his victim for outdoor sex there, and his partner in crime would hide in the bushes. But this is a typical template. But what was scary about this one, the victim told me that they will attack the victim with a knife, and not just knife, they'll put a chemical on the knife. So that way your leg will start burning right away, so you can't run.
Oh God.
So the victim was bedridden for 2 months. He lost his job and everything.
Shit.
He lost a big amount of money. I found their pictures because I set up a trap on Grindr profile through one of my Trojan horses in the Faridabad area. I got the picture, I exposed him. I started texting him on WhatsApp saying, you gave me number on Grindr, aaj sham ko milte hain. Now he's making plan there to meet me in the evening to loot me, and he does not know I'm showing his chat live on the video, and I'm exposing him. That video went viral, and 2 days after, the DCP of Faridabad messaged me on Instagram saying, I want to help you.
Oh, amazing.
Unfortunately, I wish it was my reaction, but then I went to victim. I said, police want to help us, and they said कि हमारी एरिया का नाम खराब हो रहा है, ये केस बहुत वायरल हुआ है. Because when I make the case viral, I do a targeted area. I don't do all over India. I do it all over India, but I make sure that I spend in the local area कि उनका नाम local area में खराब हो, जो criminals है उनका.
बढ़िया.
So I went to victim, and victim blocked me and ran away. And that police kept waiting. There's one more case I'll quickly mention. Mumbai ka case of Vikroli ka, which is again my mega scam last year, where organized crime, all guys of 18-21, they used to take people to 2 locations. एक school के पीछे एक jungle area था और एक construction site था. And politicians helped me in that case. Of different parties, they came together, they helped me write the application, they took me to the police station.
Excellent.
Everybody was helpful, but again I'll mention this, Karma is such a bitch. The main accused, he drowned during Ganesh Visarjan, and I think Karma paid him back.
Right, wow, that's dramatic.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what about NGOs? I often see, like on Facebook, somebody will say, listen, this happened to my friend, and everybody will say, go to Humsafar Trust. How can the NGOs help?
Of course, and I think, see, my rise was just 3 years back. Before me, I think they are the one who handled the cases. And not just Humsafar in Mumbai, that so many other cities where so many other people like South mein ho, Delhi mein ho, even in Pune, people handled it and they owe the credit. Sometimes उनका काम दिख के नहीं आता, हमारा दिख के आता है सोशल मीडिया पे, and everyone's work should be cherished and celebrated. But I feel NGOs, अभी यंग जनरेशन का NGO से कनेक्शन थोड़ा इतना बना नहीं है जितना पहले केस में था.
बिल्कुल.
Because that was the only source back then. अब सोशल मीडिया के बाद once they see video, they will not go to NGO's website or Instagram, and they have to follow process because that's NGO's policy. They can't handle directly the way I can handle as an individual.
Correct.
So they find it easier to reach out to individuals who can help them. But I think it's still, and I worked with Humsafar also in such cases. I worked with different NGOs we do coordinate about the cases.
Okay, excellent.
So I have nothing to respect for them.
Right, excellent. Okay, I wanted to just ask one thing. Does this issue only impact the gay men? I imagine that the trans community also face it and women also face it. What has your experience been?
I would be honest. I will only talk about the experiences that I have handled.
Ji.
The reason they do not target trans people this way, because I said they are extra proud of their identity.
Right.
They will not keep quiet. So there are different type of issues that trans community do face, and I have handled those cases as well. Like housing is the major issues for trans people.
Right.
So I've helped some trans people to get the housing and all. Again, there is a loneliness in trans community and the lack of love and everything. So there are emotional scams. They end up on the finance part, but for example, a man will come in a trans person's life, a trans woman's life, and he will show the dreams, parivar or saath mein forever and everything, and he'll start looting financially and drain that person and run away.
Yeah.
So I have handled such cases.
Yeah. Oh, great. That also used to happen in earlier times with older gay men.
It still does.
Still does. Boyfriend loot ke bhag gaye. वो भी मंडप पे. Okay, content removal. I think this is an important thing that you underline in your work. You know. Look, all of us have been guilty of sending a naughty picture or hot picture.
Correct.
All of us are equally guilty of saying, can I see a picture? So, and also sometimes what happens is when you are having sexual intimacy with someone, they say, oh, let's make a little video.
Correct.
Khatam. Then it's the end because they can use that against you.
True.
They can threaten that to you. So, what is your suggestion about content and removing content? Is it possible?
Yes. I'll share my experience when I was working with Bluewood as a brand ambassador.
Ji.
Back then, there was screen recording was possible on the app. And people had this new platform where they're going live, having sex, showing solo, sessions. And one day, I think there was a guy from Nagpur. He texted me 2 a.m. at night saying that I'm committing suicide because my video is on X videos. I went there and I opened the profile of the uploader. I found 79 videos of other people on the upload. That whole night I sat and I reported. I know the content remol ka thoda extra more than the regular people, so
Yeah.
I ended up deleting those 79 videos in just 24 hours.
Wow.
I kept fighting with Blued that bring out those screen recording policy that, which they have now.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Excellent.
back then it wasn't, so I left my brand ambassadorship for that because I cannot promote unsafe apps. I can't put my community in the risk and I don't want my name to be connected to it.
Amazing.
So I left. I even stopped using it as a user back then. So this is possible. But again, like say, prevention is better than cure. I tell this to people, do not trust someone in the heat of moment that unless you want to be a porn star and adult star, that's a different part and it's okay to be
Yeah,
that way.
that's also a
But
choice.
if that's not how you want to, what you want to be, then do not do it. Your good moments, your good experiences are good in memories and not in your phone.
Yeah.
I always tell people when you go to a random people's house or even hotel rooms, take 2 minutes before jumping on each other. Look for hidden cameras, switch off the lights, close the curtains. Because there were some cases, in 90s we heard such cases,
Yes.
the hotel rooms used to have secret
cameras. Yeah.
So there are issues that people need to do, but again, community, I always say this, I don't want to bash the community, but I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's most of the time we can avoid it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. But at the same time, I feel like an old person. Like, I do feel like, yeah, you make mistakes when you're young. In the heat of the moment, you and me can understand. Not that you're old, but we can understand. We've all been there.
But I think back then in 90s, there was not awareness.
Correct. Now there's a lot
there
of
are
awareness.
resources and awareness.
Yeah,
and people are aware about
Yeah,
it.
you
And
should bloody know what's going
Yes.
on. Yeah. Is there any way that we can help you mobilize your efforts? What can we do as a community? What would you like the laws to do? What would you like the apps to do?
Last week when I handled the scam of Navi Mumbai, and I said I'm taking break of 2 days. Because after that one reel, so many people reached out to me with the new cases and I said I need a break, and so many people suggested let's make a big team.
Yes.
But then handling such a sensitive matter, you cannot trust any random person.
Right.
And more than that, it's a risky job.
Absolutely.
I can put myself in the risk. I cannot put young community members who are passionate about helping me and other people, but at the end of the day, they are answerable to their family.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing that I'm planning moving ahead, that creating like team pride or something.
Yeah.
So I can just guide them and they can handle problems from their
Certain-
cities.
Right.
So this
Or
is
certain aspects at
of
least.
course, yes. Like for example, at least the biggest thing they can do, which they're already doing, that share it and viral it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got that 2 cousin wala video from a number of WhatsApp group. Teenagers, which is the old gays, a number of groups.
That was a strategy because I made a deal with them that you give the money to the victim, I'll take the video off. But if I put the video off, I put other people in the risk. So I appointed some people to make that happen, and that happened. So
Yeah.
awareness chal raha tha.
Gee.
It's just one platform I closed because I wanted to help the victim.
Right. What would you like the apps to do?
To take the accountability, because but even I tell you a very simple thing, even if app puts a notice and the guidelines, how many people go and read it?
Nobody.
They just want to see who's next to
I
me.
accept.
Yeah. So but I feel apps should locally engage with the community people, hire community leaders,
Yes.
make awareness sessions,
Yes.
make both are from film industry, so we know the audio video visuals can be a very impactful. Use that.
Absolutely.
Make small short films, documentaries to make awareness.
Correct.
And when it comes to system, the police, no matter how many times the court says or we say there should be the awareness, it should happen. It's a very high time that I think there won't be Nakshatra Bagwe or any other NGO if police starts taking these cases. We don't have to put ourselves in the risk.
Yeah.
Because if there is no stigma or fear in the mind of victims that कि police help ही नहीं करेंगे, अगर ये message जाने लगा कि police are helping without disrespecting the victim or without shaming the victim, they will go directly because everybody wants justice.
Yes, of course.
So this needs to happen. Long way to go. But leaders like me who are handling this genre, we are now communicating with the system.
Good.
And they know that such things can happen. So whenever I actually wait to go to police station. And every time I want a new police station, unfortunately, because they should know such cases can come. And because I'm Maharashtrian, I speak very fluent Marathi. So I directly start in, oh साहेब असं नसतं, असं पण झालं पाहिजे, and they understand कि Maharashtrian people can also be from the community. Because ऐसा होता है कि ये एक elite लोगों का एक lifestyle है.
Western disease.
Absolutely. So it makes a huge impact. The dialogue is important, communication is important.
But this idea sounds very lovely, this pride team where you have people in different cities who can maybe help you, because you can't do everything forever, Nakshatra.
Absolutely.
So I hope in some ways the community can mobilize you. I hope, I don't know, maybe crowdfunding, whatever, because it also, there are resources that are needed, not just your emotional, mental and time, but there's there's expenses that are incurred, I'm sure, with all this to some extent.
Fortunately, there are no big expenses as such because my legal team works for free.
That's amazing.
And the mental health team works for free. There are some expenses when it comes to traveling part, but we take care of it because community made my businesses, which are community queer businesses, successful.
Right.
I owe them something. Yeah. There are times जब victims के पूरा account साफ हो जाता है. And they do not have money to survive, so that time we pay and we tell them अगर आपका पैसा return आता है तो you return me, otherwise you take it. So it happens, we do it, and I think I'm not doing any favor. I think I'm just helping my people. That's it.
But that's amazing. Like, I think if all of us in the community had so much such great values, and I'm just thinking in my head, it's not like, obviously you got these values from your family, from your parents, from your mom, who I know you were very close to. But it's amazing. This journey is amazing. Like, I don't know many people like you from the community.
Thank you.
So it's really humbling, What do you see happening next for you? What is the next chapter?
No, not planned at all. Trust me, I'm very practical. Like I said, the current life I have is more than ever I asked for. But I, of course, in terms of helping the community, I want to do all out. I want to just look for that day when I want to create content. I want to handle cases the way that people will think twice before looting any LGBTQ plus member. I want to create that terror in the minds of people. And it's a long work to do, but at least we are doing somewhere. At the same time, I just want to explore my love for acting, filmmaking, and just keep myself happy, travel. And I want to see the day when I get to dance in my best friend's gay marriages. So, and to work for that day to happen in reality.
Or your own marriage.
I would rather prefer my friend to get married first. I don't think, I personally believe relationship does not complete you entirely.
Lovely.
I have lived my life as a single man, very individualistic person. I'm happy the way I'm living my life.
Good.
There is no empty, hollow space in my life because I'm single.
Excellent.
I'm single by choice. If I wanted to have relationship, I think by the time the support I have, I can have 70 relationships by now. The way other people move on fast. But that's not my end goal. If that happens, that it will happen.
I think that's a very good positive message to put out at the end of this episode, that you don't need someone to complete you. You can be a thing. And believe me, I also come. I have 30 years plus on you, or 25 years or whatever. I am so grateful that you agreed to come in. I know that this was the first time you agreed to come on the podcast. And I was quite worried that you wouldn't have the time, you wouldn't be inclined. But thank you so much. I think and I hope and pray that you get all the support you need from NGOs, from the law, from the cops, from the police, from our community. So please continue doing all the work you do. I know it comes with a heavy price, and I know it's not simple, but I wish you a lot of luck and love, Nakshatra. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And I chose your podcast because I've seen your movies. Like, I remember the other day I sent you the DVD of your picture.
I got a shock. So that was really sweet of you.
So it took me all these years being active in the community to do my first podcast, and I'm happy to be here.
Yay! Thank you so much again.
Thank you.